Hello, 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 wherever you are in the world. This is Kulmahay from Ignite Your Inner Potential. One of my first jobs in the morning in this new routine has been to walk our kittens in our garden every single morning. And if it's to get them exercise, that's all well and good, but it's also to help me to get out into the outside. And who would have ever thought that we'd get to a stage in our lives where just stepping out into our garden was seen to be almost a privilege, and how grateful would we be for things like our garden when we can't go anywhere else. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Derby, and let me just turn the camera around so you can just see the kittens. They're enjoying themselves. Let me just turn that round if I can. There we go. There's Elvis over there being adventurous, and there's Coco over there. What amazes me about these two is that they find the most simplest of things very exciting. They both love chasing flies in the grass. They revel being in the grass. The grass is quite wet with dew on it, and they're absolutely enjoying it. And in this time of social lockdown that we've got right now, have you not thought of how we are beginning to readjust as human beings to appreciate life in a wholly different way? We're perhaps not following those people that we would normally follow on Facebook and social media. We perhaps have started some kind of a fitness regime. Maybe we're watching TV and we're learning fitness all over again on TV. Maybe we're eating more than we've ever eaten before. Maybe we've picked up that book that book that we thought that we've always wanted to read, and then we feel that we just don't feel like reading it. Maybe we're not sleeping well. All of these things that have come from a place of uncertainty, fear maybe, that's creeping in. But is it also not a possibility that this is a good time for us to do a reset, complete not a reset? Let me just, Elvis has managed to get himself trapped around. Just bear with me. What are we doing here, Elvis? Oh, your brother. Elvis has just managed to get himself trapped around a plant pot, which is what he tends to do. There they are, they're both sorted now. This is really about an opportunity for us to see life in a wholly different way, to reevaluate and rethink through what life really is all about. Some of us are beginning to think about the most simplest things in life, feeling grateful for the fact that we have food on our tables. Maybe you're not watching television as much as you did. Maybe you're now finding that you're almost going back into your childhood where things were much simpler, life was much simpler, and we had to experiment with things. We had to create our own entertainment, like I'm creating here with Elvis. He makes me smile, he does. He gets himself trapped into everything. So maybe you're doing that. What is it for you? What does it mean for you to have the life that you've got right now? Is it more difficult for you? Is it more challenging? Or are you now beginning to reevaluate your own life? Now Coco's trapped under her straps. Let me just free her up. Come on, baby. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. There we go. So it's at times like this in our lives, and this is quite a unique time for all of us. It's at times like this in our life where we almost need to press a hold button, a pause button on our life to reevaluate. We almost need to press that reset button to question ourselves. Was the way that I was leading my life before the right way? Was I getting true fulfillment from this thing called life? And could I be practicing life in a much more holistic way, a much more simple way, in a way that truly I get some value from, where I'm growing as a person, where I'm having that opportunity for deeper thought. Can I be appreciating the much more simple things in life that I took for granted? Now, as a police officer, former police officer, I know that one of the greatest powers that we had was to take people's liberty away from them. And I've always been interested in how people think. I remember how when we used to arrest people, it was almost like for them, they would do anything to evade arrest. Why was that? That was because the moment that we took that, made that arrest, it was like their liberty was being taken away from them. And there is nothing more that we value in this world than our freedom. Whether it's as a child, bear with me, whether it's as a child where the parent is telling them what to do and they feel that the parent is infringing on their freedom as a human being, or as a perception of them being an adult themselves, or whether it is as an adult where we think that as adults now we have total freedom to make the choices that we make in life. So when somebody comes along and takes that choice away from us, it feels like something quite impure, something quite improper, and something quite wrong in so many ways. And I guess that's what's happening in so many countries around the world, where democracy doesn't exist, or that freedom of choice doesn't exist. But then in other worlds where we do have freedom of choice, some people use that freedom of choice as an opportunity to say whatever they want to say without any fear or favour, or without any fear rather of hurting other people. And this is what we've always seen to be freedom. But true freedom is this. True freedom is the ability for us to walk out of our house whenever we want to go shopping whenever we want to. It is like a basic fundamental in human need. It's one of the basic needs, really, to have food and water on our table. Most of us have got that, thankfully. To have a roof over our head, most of us have got that. And then a pure basic psychological need is for us to be able to have that freedom to do the things that we want to do, to be part of communities, to be recognized within our community as performing a certain task or role. So what's the points of my rambling today? I guess the point of my rambling today is you can either see this period as a real challenge, or you can see this period as a real opportunity. A real opportunity to reevaluate our lives, a real opportunity to break it back down into simplicity, to understand the most important elements of our life right now, stripping it right back down to the basic needs of humanity, that we have food, that we have, the ability to at least taste fresh air, that we have the ability for our body to be fit, be healthy, for our mental health, to think the right things, to expose ourselves to the right things. And as we know, around the world there are people setting up social media, really positive social media all over the place. It's an opportunity to expose ourselves to that and press that reset button within ourselves to start thinking in a wholly different way. Not in the way that we've thought for so very long, that it's about one thing or another. The truth of it is that it's not about what you know, it's not about who you are, it's not about what money you've got. It's about how wealthy you are inside of yourself. And that comes with the quality of the thoughts that we have. So my plea to you would be, stretch yourselves, really stretch yourselves. If ever there was a time to learn new skills, or skills that you've always put off, if ever there was a time to start thinking in a different way, if ever there was a time to truly reevaluate who you are and what you stand for, now is that time. And particularly with so much resource out there online, now is the time for us to start practicing that. So with these rambling thoughts, I'm just going to leave you a picture of my little kittens again. Coco's managed to get herself trapped, so I'm just going to release her. She gets herself trapped. So there's Coco. Elvis is dragging his lead wherever he goes. He's the inquisitive one. And there's Elvis. We've got them on leads as we're training them to get into the garden. There's Coco with a pink lead on. So guys, I'm going to leave you with that thought. Be like the kittens. Be constantly curious. Be like the kittens. Appreciate little things in life. Be like the kittens. Always be growing. And be like the kittens. Always be happy. Take care and God bless you. Bye bye.